Welcome back to Mostly Superheroes, the podcast on Friday Live. It is Friday, February 13th, 2026, and we're doing a lot of fun things today on this Friday before we send you into your weekend, including a giveaway that you might be here for. I hope you're here for. Batman came on the podcast last night, drew some names. You entered the contest to win 2 tickets to Alamo Drafthouse Cinema on February 23rd. You're going to hear that announcement from Batman of St. Louis on this podcast. You're also going to learn about some new events, some more prizes, and some updates on a lot of cool guests that have been coming into the studio. We're going to give you a preview of what to see next week. This is Friday Live. This is Mostly Superheroes, your indie podcast. I'm Logan Janis. Let's have some fun. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks for joining us on your lunch break. Or maybe you're just sneaking away from work for a minute, or maybe you're just off today. Whatever your situation is, we welcome you and we will shout you out if we see you. Just like Funko Pop Portraits always joining us. Good afternoon to you and to people joining us on Instagram as well. We see you and we want to shout you out. And there's always something to win on the show, which is where we want to start today. On Friday Live, you always get a little fun program here. Let's talk about some prizes.
Fan mail.
So first up, we have Scream 7 in theaters at Alamo at your local theater. This is coming out. You know about it if you know about it. If you're a Scream head, you've been counting down. And congratulations to Chaz O. We got to send him and Plus One to a screening, really one of the first days over at Alamo Drafthouse Cinema. And congratulations, he's going to go have a good time there. We also just gave out gift cards to our favorite sandwich shop in St. Louis, the Gramophone. Congratulations, Mark R. You just got $25 to go over there and grab a couple sandwiches, the mac and cheese, catch some live music. It's right there on Manchester in the Grove. Definitely one of our favorite spots. And shout out to Jules. Jules, our friend that is going to actually be coming on the podcast soon and talking about, I believe he's going to San Diego Comic-Con this year. He won an Alamo Drafthouse gift card. And it's all happening at mostlysuperheroes.com/contest. I would say we give more prizes away than your average podcast. This is I would say even as many as the heroes that are local radio. We have such a deep inventory of our prize closet with all of our cool friends at Alamo, the Gramophone, the Voltron store, Four Hands Brewing Company, Steve's Hot Dogs, and the Fabulous Fox. We have a major announcement about a special musical coming to town, and we're going to get there here in our next segment.
News and rumors.
This is cool because the news is really just like more stuff that we get to be a part of and give away tickets to. Hopefully, we're going to see you at Two Rivers Comic Con, April 25th and 26th in St. Charles, because we got a mega booth there. The Voltron store has a booth there. And there was a contest that if you bought your tickets before February 12th, you were entered to win an autographed poster, but definitely not too late to get your tickets to Two Rivers Comic Con. And the exciting news is we've got passes to this event. So keep an eye on mostlysuperheroes.com/contest. If you want to go to a Comic-Con in the area, we'll send you there. All right. So you're thinking, all right, Comic-Cons are cool, but I'm really more of a foodie. I'm more of a food person. We have Braden STL hosting Foodies Eat First. He just came on the podcast. We released an episode, and you can go hear all about this huge event with so many food vendors coming in, creators, celebrity appearances, musical artists potentially coming by. And there's one in May, August, in a restaurant week later this year. And we got the go ahead from Braden to give away tickets to his festival, which this is definitely one of those exclusive experiences that it's going to be tough to get tickets. They're going to go on sale around 314 day, March 14th. More to come on that. And a major announcement coming to the Fabulous Fox in April 24th through 26th. Beetlejuice, the musical is coming to the historic Fabulous Fox, and we want to send you there. We have this event linked up at mostlysuperheroes.com, and you can get your tickets at fabulousfox.com. We have that all linked up. We're really excited to be able to work with the show Beetlejuice, the musical, and the Fabulous Fox. Watch for more exclusive interviews and updates and all sorts of fun things and collaborative experiences that are happening here locally. And is Beetlejuice coming to your city? Let us know at 754 call log or at mostlysuperheroes.com. All right, let's get you some movie reviews.
What you watching?
Scotty Scoop is hitting up the movie theaters, and Allied Global Marketing is sending them there, getting him there early. And Scotty really, he sees more than me, Andy, and Sam combined. And he saw this week Send Help. And from Scotty Scoop, we want to go ahead and give you his fresh review where he posts it on our Instagram at Mostly Superheroes. It's also linked on the Scotty Scoop page at mostlysuperheroes.com. And I like to read them straight from our Instagram at Mostly Superheroes. Scotty says, Send Help review. Finally thinking she'll get the promotion she's been waiting for. Linda Little, played by Rachel McAdams, finds herself attempting to impress her new boss, Bradley, played by O'Brien, who has taken over the company from his father after he passes away. Spoiled, rotten, and not intending to give her that promotion, he asks her to prove herself on a business trip to Thailand. Scott would be here to correct me. Where his private plane crashes in the ocean, leaving Bradley injured and Linda the only other passenger left alive due to extensive training to be on Survivor. Yes, that Survivor. Little is now in charge of keeping them alive and extremely capable of doing so. With a struggle for power, can they survive long enough to be rescued, or will they end up killing each other in the process? What was advertised as more of a survival horror film turned out to be more of a dark comedy film until about 2/3 of the way through. And then the Sam Raimi we know and love really shined through through, and the horror started to flow. I didn't really expect to laugh as much as I did throughout the movie, but I shouldn't be surprised given Raimi's past films. Both McAdams and O'Brien put on great performances and were practically the only ones in most of the film. It wasn't difficult to immediately despise O'Brien's douchey, spoiled rich kid, and once McAdams' timid character reached the island, her character got more and more confident to the point where you really felt the roles reverse, to a point where you almost weren't sure who to root for, which I think was the ultimate goal. If you enjoy the Raimi films, survival stories, or dark comedy, this one is for you, so don't skip it. It's a 3.4 out of 4.0 on the Mostly scale. One of my only gripes here, I'll direct straight to Sam Raimi. Sam, a film with no Bruce Campbell? Really? Couldn't get him in anywhere? In a meeting? Piloting the plane? Corpse on the beach? Come on. I'll let this one slide, but don't make it a habit. That's Scotty Scoop with the review of Send Help. Have you seen this movie? Has anyone seen Send Help? In the chat, in the comments, a lot of friends like Jamie Javock have said, you got to see it. Mark at Alamo. And now Scotty has seen it. And there's your review of the film. Let us know what you think at mostlysuperheroes.com. We'll feature your reviews on this show on Friday Live on Mostly Superheroes. But let's keep it moving to one more film before we get to that big contest announcement. Next up, Scotty saw Crime 101. This was at B&B Theaters, Creve Coeur, and thanks to Allied Global Marketing for getting him there early. Here's Scotty's review of Crime 101. Crime 101 review. Jewel thief with a conscience, James, played by Hemsworth, is looking for one last big score to secure the life he's always dreamed of. High high-end insurance broker Sharon, played by Barry, who is tired of being passed up for a long promised promotion, is on the edge of giving away all her potential clients' secrets. Eager to take James's place by any means necessary, Orman, played by Kagan, is looking to swoop in and take anything and everything he can. On the case is Detective Lou, played by Ruffalo, who is the lone cop of questionable force, who has a theory there's more to these robberies than your typical smash and grab. While I enjoyed this film, it really never decided what it wanted to be. Cool action, smooth heist, character driven drama, thrilling romance, constantly pulling in so many directions it never really landed anywhere. It seemed like they tried so hard to make Hemsworth's character mysterious. You actually fall short of knowing him at all. No real motivation other than he grew up poor and wants money. And it's kind of the same with every other character in the film. We spend just enough time with them to get a basic view of them, but never enough time to learn their motives or get any kind of depth. With all that said, the actors were all on their game here. There was chemistry all around, and the movie did keep you engaged, if only because you were waiting for something to happen. And when it did happen, it kind of felt a little hollow. This is going to be another one of those films that if you watch the trailer and you're not into the vibe, it's fine. A solid 2 minutes and 15 or 2 hours and 15 of just enough to make you say, all right, I guess that was good. If you're like me, when the credits roll, you'll just go down the avenue picking holes in the plot and wondering how they couldn't find a way to make this more interesting with a cast of A-listers. In the end, they really needed to pick a lane. 2.9 out of 4.0 on the Mostly scale. What if Thor, Hulk, Druig, and Storm got together for an okay movie? This is what. Shout out to Nick Nolte, still doing it. That's Scotty Scoop with Crime 101. Let us know if you have seen the movie. 754 call log, mostlysuperheroes.com. Shout out to Steve Zeller from Team Jakey in the chat. Says, love your reviews. That's for you, Scotty. Wait, yeah, Carrie also shouts out Scotty's reviews. They're really well written. You're committed to going to the screenings and the movies and then doing it right away. And you can always look for it here on Mostly Superheroes. So what am I watching? You know, if I had to say one title, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I'm watching it weekly and I'm having a lot of fun. But it's Friday, and as always, we try to keep it tight here on Friday Live and send you into your weekend with something fun. So let's get to our what's coming up next week and then our contest. We've had so many good podcasts lately, a lot of great interviews. And just to rattle them off and show you what you can look forward to next week, Jamie Jirach from Phase Hero and Love in the Time of Hydra, an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. rewatch podcast, also a writer for a few publications, doing a lot of work in the space for a long time, moderating panels and just being an all around cool person, came in and nerded out with me on the pod. Watch for that one. We also had Brandon Williams, CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater St. Louis. Get ready for that. A fun one with another nonprofit in town. Grace Murray came in from Pathways to Independence, and we learned all about the great work that they're doing in the St. Louis area. And on that episode, Andy finally came back into the studio, and that was really fun. We finally got the Arena Andy in here, which was funny because Tim Convey, local comedian, musician, came in this week and legit asked me if the other three guys quit. That's how far, Sam, Scott, and Andy, we got to get you guys in. People are thinking you're literally quitting the podcast because you're not in here enough. So let's make that happen more and get ready for that Tim Convey episode. And on Netflix, you may have heard of a documentary called Secret Mall Apartment, where, I mean, it sounds just like what it is. There was a mall and these artists build a apartment in as the mall is being constructed and no one knows. And Michael Townsend was the leader. And Michael Townsend also runs an organization called Tape Art. And he came in onto the podcast and talked all about the documentary, all about the secret mall. And that episode was so fun, and it's going to be rolling out as well. And then coming to the end of our previews, Mark Bluestein always coming in, He made the major announcement in the beginning of the year saying, we get the first look at the movies coming out at Alamo before they're released to the public, before they're on the website. We're the first ones to know. So if you want to know what new titles are coming out, obviously a lot of us know those, but what you don't know is the repertory titles. And he came in and told us about March, which is going to include a lot of fun stuff like Zodiac, Donnie Darko, Lord of the Rings. And you're going to have to go check out the episode to hear the rest. And also on that episode was Batman of STL. And Batman has finally made it to the studio, and you get to learn all about the Dark Knight in our city who has a Robin and is going to be joining us at a big event. And that's what brings us to our contest, folks. It's time for that chunk, the sizzle. We call it
The meat.
And we did bring in Batman to draw out our winner for our Screen and Social to see The Dark Knight Monday, February 23rd. Without further ado, enjoy this from our boy Batman and Mark at Alamo Drafthouse, and good luck to you winners, or you contestants that entered, and congrats to these winners that you'll hear right now. Hopefully you entered our contest. If not, you still get to have a little fun with us, and we're going to give away 2 sets of tickets, which means 2 winners to that Monday night showing, February 23rd, 6 o'clock show. Hang out in the lobby with us, mostly superheroes, at the Screen and Social before, and meet with Batman of St. Louis. And Batman, would you do us the honors of picking our winner? And all you got to do is we had people enter from all of our platforms. So their website, email, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And I went ahead and did a random selection through all those, narrowed it down to top 10 finalists. Just I randomly picked them in, and you're going to pick the finals.
All right.
So what I need first from you, Batman, is a number 1 out of 10. You get to pick one. Here we go.
Start with 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Coming in through the website. Big thanks and congratulations to Amanda W. Woo!
Congratulations. Good job, Amanda. We'll see you there.
Gonna see you at the Alamo U+1 with us, seeing The Dark Knight 2008, Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, Harvey Dent, all of it. The fairies, the using the tech with Lucius Fox, and is this ethical? And just Batman can finally turn his neck. This is the movie where he can finally turn his neck. Okay, congratulations, Amanda. Thank you, Batman. And that's 2 tickets. We have 2 more. We're going to do it right now. We're going back to back. And this is during Friday Live. We're making this announcement. You're hearing it here on Mostly Superheroes. Between 1 and 10, we have already said number 1. Batman, we need a second number from you.
Number 4.
Number 4. Congratulations. Entering through Instagram, the handle run_DMAC. You have won. Run_DMAC, and you won. U+1 are coming on February 23rd.
And they need to tell us what the DMAC is about.
Right, yeah. What is that DMAC about? Let us know. And you guys are going to have to let us know when we reach out to you to get this. Otherwise, we got to go to the next winner, but usually this works out just fine. And we appreciate everyone that entered. A lot more of these contests. We got to set people up with the Dark Knight tickets, Scream 7, and we've worked it out at Alamo to where you're helping us send people pretty much to all the movies you got. If we can get contests up on the website and on the socials. And thank you, Mark. And thanks, Jen. And thanks, everybody.
Batman.
And Batman, thank you for picking our winners.
Of course.
Do you have a good Where Is She?
Where?
Thank you, Batman of STL and Mark. Congrats to our winners. I will be contacting you right when I hang up here. So be sure to answer right away, or we will have to move on to the next winners. We're a little over a week out from this movie on February 23rd. And that full interview with Batman of STL and Mark at Alamo with those March titles and pretty much a expose on Batman. We talked all about Batman. We scheduled it to drop right after this show ends. So at 12:30, we ask you to go to the podcast if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube, Mostly Superheroes, and mostlysuperheroes.com, where it's all linked up. You can watch, you can listen, you can subscribe and support this indie pod in St. Louis. And we just really appreciate you. that's our program for the day. Like I said, keep it nice and tight. We jam packed in movie reviews, contests, announcements with new contests coming in. And if you want to hear more about what we're watching and nerdy stuff on the podcast, like Avengers Doomsday Talk, as well as Pluribus. We just talked about Pluribus, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Lots of great episodes coming out, and the guys will be back in the podcast studio soon. So, from all of us here at Mostly Superheroes on Friday Live, can't wait to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Write us in at the show, subscribe and support. And I'm Logan Janos from Scotty, Sam, Andy, and Carrie. We will see you next time on the pod. Take it easy.